Welcome to the DeFabio Difference for Health Management. I'm Jill Lally, and here today with me is Dr. Donald DeFabio.
Hey Jill, nice to see you today.
So we are here on a blended show due to viewer requests and patient requests. Dr. DeFabio is continuing the work of Dr. John Pagano in psoriasis treatment. And this is about natural approach, and diet is the key. So can you explain a little bit about what I just said?
Yeah, well, it's number one, there are a handful of foods people aren't supposed to eat, but I get questions all the time. But what can I have for lunch? What can I have for dinner? What can I have for breakfast? What can I eat? And I say, it's in the book. Read the cookbook. Read the book. But I don't know what to eat. There's nothing to eat. Well, guess what? There's lots to eat. And that's what we're going to talk about today. It's 3 simple dishes that you can make at home for yourself, and they're family friendly on what you can eat. So it's all about focusing on what you can eat and how what you eat is going to really help you get well. It's what you don't eat is what we don't. We're going to ignore that. Let's talk about what you can eat.
What you can do.
Exactly.
Right. Positively.
Exactly. It's a positive approach. So
Thanks.
that's it in a nutshell. It sounds overwhelming when you give people a list of food, but it's pretty straightforward. And yes, it takes a little creativity. Some people are more creative than others. I get that. Okay. But it is something anybody can do.
So your diet can manage and heal psoriasis.
Oh, can definitely do both. That's the whole key. And I got news for you. You know, Adele Davis many years ago, you know, let's eat right. You are what you eat. I mean, that's been around for forever. And yeah, what we eat significantly impacts our health, and food is a drug. You know, we're not using it as a drug, but we are using it for health and wellness and for healing of the gut and of the skin, because that's what psoriasis from a natural approach is all about. Get the inflammation down in your skin, get the inflammation down in your intestines so your body can heal.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
You're welcome.
So our first dish
Okay, we're going to do 3 dishes today.
Okay.
First, we're going to start off with some salmon, okay? It's going to be a salmon dish. We're going to take the salmon and we're going to coat it in a little coconut oil. Now, salmon is high in omega-3 fatty acids, all right, which is what you want because they're anti-inflammatory, okay? And you'll notice this salmon is really got a lot of color to it. It's wild caught and it is sockeye. So that's why it's got that deep, deep color. We want those cold water fish oils, cod, salmon, mackerel. We want those. They're very good for reducing inflammation, great source of protein. Farm-raised salmon is also a good source of omega-3 fatty acids. The problem is they do put food dye in it. So you are getting your omega-3s, but you're also getting some food dye. So a little bit of coconut oil. I'm going to sprinkle on top of that some fennel. This is the green from fennel, okay? And you know, it looks like this. And I'm going to sprinkle fennel on it, and you'll find out later, because the companion dish for this will complement it nicely. Then we put a little bit of water. Oh, how much? Couple ounces. Now, how much salmon here? That's a ½ pound salmon. So that's for 2 meals, okay? All right? You can share it, or you can save it and have it for lunch, cold. Or you can have it for a salmon salad. You know, you can do other things with it. So we're going to cook it once, eat it hot, but you can also be cold. We're going to put a little bit of, just an ounce, white wine, okay? We do not generally drink wine on the Pagano program. So we cook with it. This is going to be open. All the alcohol is going to come off. Won't be a problem. Goes in the oven, 325, 20 minutes. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to serve that with sauteed spinach with beet greens. Now, we're all about using as much as we can. So you notice I used the top of the fennel, okay? We're going to be taking the root of the fennel and steaming it.
Okay.
And with that, we're going to steam some rainbow carrots. And that'll going to be our companion vegetable, along with more vegetables, the beet greens and the sauteed spinach. We put these together in a pan with some garlic and oil, sweat them down, and that's going to be the complete meal. It's a lot of vegetables. The key is the vegetables. Eat more vegetables.
So
Jill,
the
eat more
importance-
vegetables. 5 to 7 servings a day of vegetables
Okay.
is what they need. So these are the raw ingredients. Let's put these over here. We're going to let the salmon cook, okay?
Okay.
As the salmon cooks, then we'll come back and we'll plate the whole thing together.
Okay,
All right, how's
great.
that sound? Any questions on that?
Well, I liked how you showed us that that was 2 portions, because in our world today of supersizing everything, you know, you want to make sure that you're eating to be full and satisfied and not overeating, because that could have been on a plate in a restaurant as 1 serving. So thank you for clarifying that it really is 2 portions.
However, with the vegetables,
Okay.
we want multiple portions, 5 to 7 servings. You'll notice we're heavy on the veggies. We're heavy on the greens. We're heavy on the vegetation. It's going to be lower in calories, number 1, so you don't have to worry about the calories. Go ahead and eat 3 heads of broccoli. That's maybe 150 calories. But you're going to get nutrients. You're going to get fiber. It's going to alkalize your system and help with the healing.
Okay.
All right.
So doctor said alkalizing because most of us are acidic. So
Which has to do with our food choices. The basic American diet will do that to us, yeah.
okay.
All right.
So
All right, next dish. Next dish is going to be chicken. So Jill, let's bring these over. We're going to have some chicken pieces with some shiitake mushrooms. And we're going to have cauliflower, that's orange, and purple chard. Okay, so this is a little bit different. So I'm going to just put this plate up here. We're going to swap out that pan. Now, the chicken is basic cubed chicken. I like my chicken on the bone because it gives it a little bit more flavor. But I took a chicken breast, chopped it up, and we're just going to put a little bit of salt, all right, and a little bit of pepper. Not much, okay? Toss it up. Toss it up, all right? And then it's going to go in the pan. Now, I pre-browned it, okay, because it's going to save us a little time. But I'm going to pick up the cooking from here, all right? If you notice, the chicken is really brown. That's real important. So it's a relatively high flame. I put just a few drops of olive oil down because you need a little bit of oil. Chicken's, you know, I took the skin off, skinless chicken, and some cloves of garlic. And the garlic's just a little, I like it a little bit brown like that. It gives it a nice flavor. So let's just warm this up a little bit. And then my mushrooms. We're going to add some shiitake mushrooms. Why shiitake? Number 1, they are called medicinal mushrooms. They're very, very beneficial for your body. They help boost your immune system. If you notice, though, it's just the tops of the shiitake that have been sliced, okay? There is no the stem. The stem's really tough. It doesn't cook down very well at all right? So we'll put that in there. Now, we added a little salt when we first did brown the chicken. And again, it's real important to brown the chicken well. We're going to add just a smidge more salt right now because that's going to throw off some water from the mushrooms. So we're going to let that cook down a little bit.
okay.
Our companion dish for this, as that's cooking, is going to be cauliflower, yellow cauliflower. Why yellow cauliflower? Because it's got color, all right? If you don't like yellow cauliflower, buy purple cauliflower. If you don't like purple cauliflower, buy white cauliflower. If you don't like cauliflower, buy asparagus. I bought it because I like it and it was colored food is important. Colored food is high in what's called carotenoids, okay, which are very strong antioxidants, okay? So try to get as many color in your vegetables as possible. And you can see how that's cooking down very nicely. Now, if it gets a little dry, you can add just a touch of water, just like that, because you do want to maintain the moisture, okay? A little bit more. And now what's nice about maitake and shiitake mushrooms, they're medicinal mushrooms. They're very good immune boosters. They do not lose their medicinal qualities from heat. So you can cook them and they still stay healthy. And if you want a little extra flavor boost, you can add another ounce of white wine, just an ounce. It boils off, so there is no problem with it, because we do not recommend alcohol on the Pagano program. Now, this is steamed. Let's make, it's common today to take the yellow cauliflower and turn it into other things. They use it for pizza dough sometimes. Right. So we're just going to mash it, make it faux mashed potatoes, all right? This is the way I like to do it. Is this the only way to do it? No. A little olive oil. Okay. Now this is done. Maitake mushrooms are done. A little bit of sauce there. We're just going to let that sit for a second. On top of that, thyme. Maybe I'm going to start with a half a teaspoon. This is a third of a head of yellow cauliflower. This is one portion, okay? The only thing that's calorically dense in here, though, is olive oil. And olive oil is a very healthy oil, okay?
And you just drizzled it, so.
And if you want a little more, you can have a little more. A lot of my psoriasis patients do lose weight when they first start the program. Some of them lose a lot of weight, Ben, because you're not eating enough, Ben, okay? No, seriously, you got to eat more, man. You took out some of the foods that you weren't supposed to have, but you got to have a little bit more of these foods. Now that looks really nice. So, and you can chop up those little stems if you want a little bit more. I like it a little bit more robust, okay? So I'll leave the stems in through there, all right? So, purple chard, more color. Color, high in nutrients, high in antioxidants. Introduce color into your vegetables. We're just gonna saute that down, all right? Quickly. Now, Jill likes it with coconut oil, so we took some coconut oil, put it in the pan, chopped it up. I like the stems, so I use the stems. Jill just takes the leaves, okay? I know you like the leaves. I like the stems, I like the crunch. The bottom line is the whole thing you can be eating. However, you need to get organic vegetation if you're on the psoriasis program, you really do, especially if you live in the United States, because there's way too many pesticides in our vegetation right now. That's going to inflame your gut, that's going to drive toxins into your liver, which ends up on your skin. So, I do have to say that. So what do we have? We end up with some chicken with shiitake mushrooms as a natural immune booster. We got to get all those mushrooms out. We got to get all those mushrooms out.
So tell me, doctor, is there fiber in the stems?
Yes, lots of fiber. And why? And tell me, Jill, why is fiber important? Right? Keeps you moving. Right. It's really, really important. And then we just put, now this, how much, boy, you look, oh my gosh, that looks like so much Swiss chard. How much do you think that is, Jill? How much Swiss chard? Take a guess. How much do you think that is? How much Swiss chard?
A couple of leaves.
Couple leaves. Well, let's go with like ounces. How many ounces do you think that is?
4, 5?
Not even 5.
Wow.
It's under 4 ounces of Swiss chard. And it looks like so much.
So much.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then we're going to take this and plate it like that. Hey, look, I'm not Emerald Lagasse or Mario Batali, but...
You're Dr. Donald DeFabio.
That looks pretty good to me. Okay, look at all the color. You got green, you got some purple, it's a little washed out. You got mushrooms that are medicinal, and you got yellow cauliflower. If you don't like these vegetables, use another vegetable. Is this mostly vegetation or is it mostly protein?
More vegetation.
Exactly. Is it above ground vegetation or below ground vegetation? So the cauliflower is grown above ground. Kale's grown above ground. That's what I mean. You want to eat mostly above ground vegetation. So we're going to put this right over here, and that's our first complete dish.
Right.
So this time we are going to talk about root vegetables. You can have root vegetables on the diet. They're very, very good for you. It's not all root vegetables though, okay? What do I mean by root vegetables? We mean beets, we need parsnips, we need sweet potatoes. How about, oh gosh, butternut squash falls into that category, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to make root vegetables with a turkey loin, but we're going to serve it with a big salad to get that above ground kick. The turkey loin, we're going to season. In fact, I already have seasoned it, but I'll go over it one more time. With a little salt, some pepper, and some rosemary, which is still over there. Joel, can I have the rosemary? Okay. And some oregano. Now, when you're seasoning with the rosemary, if it's fresh, chop it up a little bit. If it's dried, take the time to break the sprigs, break them in your fingers, break them, get those oils out. Rosemary oil is very, very anti-inflammatory. Oil of oregano, very, very anti-inflammatory. So those are really good herbs to cook with, okay? And poultry and rosemary go super, super well together. But break up those little leaves to get the oils to come out, okay? A sprinkle of oregano, some salt, some pepper, and that's really all you need to do to get your turkey prepared. Now, this piece of turkey is really a serving. It's about 4.5 ounces.
Okay.
I buy the turkey loin for this. A full turkey loin, you'll have a good meal, and then you'll have leftovers for another night, or for a sandwich, or for putting in a salad as the meat. You can make your salad and then put the roasted turkey on top of it. So there's lots of options. The root vegetables, I got turned on to this dish when I was in New Zealand surfing with my son, and I didn't really think they would be as good as they were. So now I'm all over root vegetables. Okay. These are the ones I like, but you can use any combination. Butternut squash, equal portions, about 1/3 cup. Beetroot, onion, about 1/2 medium onion. Sweet potato, 1/2 sweet potato. Now these are all halves because the other half's already in the oven. This takes about 1.5 hours to cook. So this is actually the final product's already been cooked. And parsnips. So the beetroot and the parsnips are kind of my favorite. You can just put those over there. This takes, again, same seasonings as the turkey because we want to complement it. Oregano. Hold that for a second.
Okay.
Rosemary. Grind it up. Get those oils out. Okay. This takes a bunch of salt. All right. Black pepper. You don't have to use fresh ground, but I like the flavor of it. It's black pepper. My psoriasis patients understand black pepper's fine. It's red pepper, caspation, paprika. Those are the peppers to avoid. Green pepper, yellow pepper, those, okay? And oil. Extra virgin olive oil over the top. Feel like stirring, Jill, or is that above your pay grade?
Here you go, Doctor.
Okay, I figured as much. Okay, just stir it around. But so this needs the oil, this needs the salt to really bring the flavors together, okay? And then you just have to put that in a roasting pan. If you'll hold on to that for a second, let me grab the roasting pan.
And I know when the doctor was saying sandwich, he likes to take lettuce leaves and make a lettuce wrap. So that's his version of a sandwich.
A lot of times I'll do that, yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's also a good choice is a corn tortilla. Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes use a corn tortilla. You know,
Okay.
almost make like a taco. Okay. So you just put that in on the bottom of a pan. And again, the oil's really important. That's the way I like it. If you like more sweet potatoes, add more sweet potatoes. If you like more beets, add more beets. But if you noticed, with previously we talked about sautéing the beet greens and the spinach together. Beet greens are really high in iron. They're really high in antioxidants and carotenoids, again, lutein. So don't throw them out. Take the turkey, put it right on top. Okay? And there you go. That gets a piece of aluminum foil. Put it over the top. Put it in the oven. 325. This is going to take a solid hour. And then take it out for 15 minutes. Put it under the, take it out for the last 15 minutes, uncover it, and it'll brown. And then with the magic of TV, I'll let you uncover that, Jill. And bingo, there we go. All right, we have roasted turkey, just a small piece. That was 4 ounces, that cooked down, so it's 1 serving with root vegetables, okay? What's more important? The vegetation, the protein you need, very important, but it's the vegetation. But there's no above ground vegetation. So what we're gonna do is serve it with a salad. Romaine lettuce is very, very important in terms of Dr. Pagano's program. So romaine lettuce is in here with some red cabbage shredded up, and it's a little tough to see, but here it is, fennel. Okay, so what did we do? We used the fennel in the salad. Right. We used the fennel tops with the salmon, right? And fennel is a very good digestive aid. So getting into the habit of eating fennel, and my Italian people know that, we eat it all the time to get the digestion going, okay? So let's check on that salmon. It should be pretty much done, Jill.
It's really fabulous. You're using every part of the vegetable. And most people don't realize. They take one part, a bottom or a top, but now we can use the whole entire vegetable, and it will benefit your body more completely. And I want to ask Dr. DeFabio to describe inflammation and psoriasis, and why is that an issue with the gut and the skin?
Well, that's a big question. I don't know if we have enough time to answer all that, but we know that inflammation drives disease, and psoriasis is an inflammatory reaction of the skin, okay? Due to toxic buildup. The toxins aren't getting excreted through your kidney, liver, colon, and they're coming out through the skin, okay? So that toxic buildup drives what's very hot, pro-inflammatory cytokines, and those pro-inflammatory cytokines then manifests itself as disease. And on the psoriatic sufferer, it's in their skin. In somebody else, it may show up as arthritis. It may show up as cardiovascular disease. Can you hold that for me a second, Jill?
Absolutely.
It may show up as a blood sugar metabolism problem. It may show up as anything. Most diseases are related to inflammation. So here's our salmon. That extra whiteness is some of the salmon essential oils, as well as the coconut oil. We're going to put our steamed fennel, right? There goes the steamed fennel. Look at those beautiful steamed rainbow carrots. Beautiful. So we got some above ground, some below ground. That's mine. I want that piece that fell, okay? Do we have a 5-second rule in the studio?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, there we go. Salmon, steamed fennel, steamed root vegetables with the rainbow carrots, okay? And the majority is about the vegetation, all right? That's what it's all about. With that, we're also going to give you, you know, I almost forgot. I got so fired up. Hold that for a second.
Okay.
I got so fired up, I forgot the extra greens. Extra greens! And you're going to like them. It's, there's those beet green stalks with the beet greens and spinach sauteed down with just a little bit of garlic. So 3 simple dishes, okay?
But the color, the diversity, the density of flavor and nutrient with low calorie.
You hit the nail on the head, Jill. It's a density of nutrients. Where do you get your nutrients? From your vegetation, okay?
Right.
Now, we don't have any fruits in here, but you get plenty of carbohydrates from your vegetation, especially the root vegetables. But let's do a follow-up show, and we can talk about fruits and maybe some snacks on the go. Because
Okay.
that's the other thing people ask me, what can I have for breakfast? You know, I don't have time to go out and get salad and salmon for lunch. What else I can do? So I would like to do a follow-up show and talk about that if we can.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Dr. DeFabio. Thank you for bringing this message about psoriasis. And Dr. DeFabio can be reached at 908-771-0220. He is available for telephone consultations and FaceTime as well as Skype. He has patients calling him throughout America as well as around the world because psoriasis does affect many people, many cultures, old, young, male, female.
And it's a disfiguring and disabling disease, especially when it affects your joints. And I'd love to hear about your recipes too. Maybe we'll prepare them on one of the next shows. That'd be great.
And just understanding that your diet is the key to your healing.
Yep, it's what you don't eat that's going to get you well. But these are all the things you can eat. So get excited about it.
And it's food, and food is essential for us, and it makes it a healthy way to eat.
So Jill,
Yes.
what do you want to try today?
May I try everything?
Yes, you
Everything?
may. Everything. Yes, you may. So we're going to go off camera, and I guess you're going to have something to eat. And then, hey, stay tuned. Or look at our next show. Can we do it? Can I say that?
Yes, please.
Great. We're going to do
Thank
another
you.
show for you.
I'm Jill Lally, and you are with the DeFabio Difference for Health Management.